Alright, it's a few days later and we're at the next one, and it is overgrown because it's bi-weekly and just grows quick. So this one I will probably do weekly next year, and I'll do it because, hang on a minute, because in the growing season we did go weekly on this one and it looked immaculate. It looked amazing. But now, even in October, this thing just grows and grows and grows. And they've got a really nice zoysia plot. Also, you may know that I hate my Scag V-Ride. And I went through all morning.
The audio got bad here. I'm just saying that I went through all morning trying to level the deck.
Certain the deck wasn't set up right. From the dealer. What else did I do? And I changed the baffle because there's a baffle in there that's adjustable. And so I moved it down, and hopefully it cuts better. Hopefully I did not make it worse. I probably made it worse. And I'll tell you what, right now, even if I made it worse, I'm just gonna cut the lawn because I've been tinkering with this thing for like 2 days now. And I had it looking okay, but not quite right. And so I just basically spent all morning like tinkering with it, mow a little bit, tinker with it, mow a little bit, measure, mow a little bit. And I've got it in a pretty decent spot, I think. But let's see what it looks like. Okay, and so let's walk over here and take a look at the cut quality, because this is what I've dealt with all year with this, and hopefully it translates, but there's just little scragglers. Now mind you, the scragglers are even, and on camera you may not even be able to tell really, but in person you can definitely tell. There's just scragglers everywhere, and it's always the left side of the deck, always, you know. And even with all of the tinkering and messing and moving the baffle, like it looks more even, but there's still just scragglers everywhere. And now this is on crabgrass. They've got centipede in the back lot, which we'll test on here in a minute, and they got zoysia in the front. So let's double cut this and then just see if the actual turf bits actually look any better. All right, so again, it's gonna be hard to tell on camera, but the double cut actually looks great. Maybe we can see down here, and on the zoysia and centipede sections over here, it did cut it better. I went over it twice just to get the leaves mulched up, but honestly, it looks better, but it's not perfect. And like, you know, 90% of the yards that I've got are crabgrass. So I guess it just, the 48 V-Rod with the 22 horse engine just can't cut crabgrass, I guess. I don't know. Ugh. All right, so what is the verdict after all of my tinkering with the V-Rod? Couple things. I think I am getting a more level cut, because I used to have a little bit of a wedge, but it still doesn't cut the crabgrass, man. And it's kind of frustrating because 99% of my yards is crabgrass. Although another bonus from my meddling is that with the baffle lower, I don't get really any blowout. I was getting a lot of leaves that would shoot out of the bottom, and I didn't get any. It was a lot easier to control where the leaves were going on that mow. So that's going to make the bagger system work really, really well, I think. It's just I'm still having to double cut, which is frustrating, man. One thing I do notice is that it doesn't bog quite as much, because one of the big issues I had was that it would bog down constantly, and kind of what I'm thinking is going on there was the baffle was up so high, so you have a smaller chamber to process a ton of grass clippings, right? But with that baffle down, it didn't feel like it was bogging at all, and it threw the grass clippings way better, but it still doesn't cut the crabgrass in one shot. The centipede and the zoysia bits, it was a very good cut in one pass. I did double cut in the footage you saw, but that was just to get the leaves mulched up. So one thing that I can tinker around with some more before I take it into the shop is to try the extra high lift blades again. I've tried them quite a few times in the past, but you know, with standard lift blades before my modifications, the standard lift blades were bogging down the engine, and the extra high lift blades were really bogging down the engine, and just not cutting at all. But see, now I get a pretty darn good cut on turf, but I can't cut crabgrass nearly at all. You know, used to it would leave one little strip. So I don't know, man. It's frustrating. I'm gonna mess around with it a little bit more, and next week when I'm doing landscaping, I'm gonna probably leave it with a dealer. As much as I hate to, man, I don't want to spend more money to make my mower work. It's $11,000 machine. You know, like it should just run and cut and mow, and it just doesn't. It really just does not do it, and it's so frustrating, man. And I want to blame it on the 22 horsepower engine, but I also bought this year a 48-inch Scag walk behind with the 15 horsepower engine, and that one cuts flawlessly, perfectly. I love that mower. But the V-Rod, man, it is just bad. It is bad. You know, I can't even mow at top speed. I can mow at top speed and get a clean cut with the walk behind. The V-Rod, I'm like creeping along basically, you know, and that's frustrating because those wheel motors on that thing, man, if it would cut, I could zoom, you know, but I'm having to go like not even half speed. So I don't know, man. It's frustrating. You know, the V-Rod, it's already spent a month in the shop for spindle repair, and it's like, you know, do I take it back? Is there maybe we can adjust the RPM or something? I don't know, dude. It's just a huge disappointment. Big mistake, but there's no way to know because we don't have dealers that do demos here on the V-Rod. So, you know, man, I don't know what to do with it. I honestly should have just spent the 18 grand on the freaking John Deere I was looking at. You know, I should have just done it. You know, why did I try to save 7 grand? You know, all right. That's how it goes sometimes.
All right, so here we go on a large lawn, and yeah, I'll talk about it in this video, but honestly the thing cut just fine, and I guess the other one was just overgrown. But this particular week, I remember it was so frustrating dealing with this lawnmower because we're in the fall and things are not growing like super thick and super tall, and it wasn't cutting anything. And I guess what I'm learning about the Scag is that this thing has to be so far dialed in, it's ridiculous. You know, the mower deck has to be absolutely spotless scraped. You know, the wheels have to be absolutely in the correct PSI. It is the most sensitive mower to, you know, changes in deck, and it's so frustrating. And it feels like they only tested it on, you know, the most pristine turf grasses, right? Because none of my weedy yards this thing wants to cut. Like, any weed that holds moisture, the deck gets built up and it clumps, and it immediately it's just a problem, you know. And I can't scrape the deck every other pass. That's just not realistic, you know. Mow a line, scrape, mow a line. Like, that's what would be required to keep this deck clean, you know. Maybe I talked about it in one of these videos or not, I can't remember. It all runs together. But my old John Deere, whenever I started using it, I went to scrape it, right? Because I used it for a little while this one was in the shop. And I went to scrape the deck, and it was perfectly pristine, clean metal, you know, like no, not an ounce of buildup. And the thing was just, you know, it just made me think, like, why was this mower so weird in particular, you know? But oh, check this out. Here's this zoysia section, and I think, I could be wrong, I think in the editing I might have doubled this up somehow. Listen, I'm not a videographer, I'm not an editor, obviously. I'm still trying to figure out my settings so that you can actually see everything when I record, because a couple of these last videos I've edited, it's like I can't see anything, but like I don't want to not upload something, you know. So like, listen, I'm figuring out settings, I'm figuring out how to get it to where everything is in frame, or at least enough is in frame that it's an interesting watch. But look, it's cutting this zoysia patch perfectly well, you know. And the unfortunate thing is, on this yard, you know, she doesn't like stripes, so we have to cut it in circles. Right? And it takes forever, but it's processing the leaves now. It's cutting, again, turf perfectly. It's just the weeds that get a little clumpy, it just doesn't want to touch. So I don't know, man. But part of me, I guess, wanted to talk on this specific yard. Like, these yards are big. A lot of my yards are huge like this one, and they pay well, okay? They really do. But when I tell you they take all of my time, and God forbid if it rains and it gets overgrown and I've got to double cut, I'm screwed, you know what I mean? And I lose my entire like week and then part of the next week, right? And I just don't know how to parse it out. Do I just completely get rid of my large, well-paying properties and try to restart with new, smaller ones? Like, it feels like a dumb idea. And I've thought about just marketing heavy for new, smaller properties, but then I've got to do that crappy thing where I leave a customer in the middle of the year, you know? So like if I start marketing for smaller properties and then let's say I get 5 or 6 properties that take 15 minutes to mow, well, now I can't mow this one, so now I got to drop it, right? Or now the goal is to drop it eventually, right? And that's kind of a crappy thing. You leave someone hanging, you know. And that's the thing, is like none of these people are like bad people. They all pay great. They all get other services, but the week-to-week mowing, it's sucking my life away, you know. I never get any personal time throughout the season. And if you've done this for any length of time, like especially when it gets up to 95 plus degrees, like, you know, man, like you can't do this 12 hours a day and do the landscaping and do the hedges and do, like, you know, it'll just drain you, you know. And I don't think enough people talk about that. And it's different than burnout, because I feel like burnout's more of a kind of a boredom thing. I don't get bored. It's just I don't have any time, you know. I don't have any, you know, just ability to just stop doing this. Like, I have to get up and go. And again, I enjoy doing it, so thank God. But I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this stuff, I have to relive this like multiple times. Okay, so it takes a long time to do this stuff, so go ahead and subscribe for me and leave a comment and all that stuff.
Alright, so there's that lawn all cut up, finished. And I've got to say, I don't know, I didn't change anything between the first yard and that yard. So I guess, I don't know, I guess the first yard was just too overgrown in those spots where it didn't cut well. Because I'm looking over this lawn here, and it looks great. It looks fine. I didn't change a thing. And I don't understand, really. I just don't get it. It's processing leaves really well now. Obviously the stripes are not there because I think the deck is actually, or the blades are closer to actual level as opposed to the off kilter, you know, the pitch. So it's not striping, you know, like a Scag should, right? But the lawn looked fine. It looked great. I don't really care about stripes. I just want a good, clean, flat cut, you know. And that's what I got there, but I didn't get it on the other lawn. I don't know why. It's just, it's frustrating. But I don't know if it conveys in the camera or not, but there's a certain like flatness. It's just clean and it's even and it's just flat, you know. And before, obviously, I wasn't getting, I mean, I had like a little wedge cut, and maybe you've seen that in another video. Maybe it was this video. I don't know how long these are going to be. But you know what? We're gonna go out tomorrow, and we're gonna try it again, and we're gonna see what we can get out of it. I've got a long drive home. They've got roads closed off that lead to my house, so I was gonna go cut another one, and then I was like, well, crap. I've got a 35-minute drive home instead of a 27.5-minute drive. So I don't know, man. Just weird things, weird week, weather change. I'm starting to, you know, miss mowing already, as weird as that sounds, because the season has changed and everything is bi-weekly right now, and so I'm not doing as much. And I don't know, I'm weird in the fact that I didn't, especially this year, for whatever reason, I didn't really get burnout. Normally I get like a winter funk in November, but I'm looking at November and I'm like, oh crap, I've got, you know, 4 landscapes on schedule, and I've got 2-3 different jobs planting plants, and I've got 3 different jobs doing a hard cutback on some hedges, and I'm thinking I might be able to get this done in October. But then I'm like, well, what am I going to do in November if I do everything now? You know, because I don't sit well. You know, I don't rest easy, right? I just kind of, like, I had Sunday off for it was the first Sunday I've had off in like 3 weeks, and I'm like, I'm sitting around, I'm like, I need to do something, right? Like, I don't know, man. I guess I'm a workaholic. I can't sit. There's tons to do. Just you know, I don't know. I don't know, man. But we're gonna keep messing with this mower deck as the week goes on. Tomorrow's Thursday. I've got plenty of lawns to cut, a little bit of variety, and you know, a couple of Bermuda, a couple of weedy lawns, and so we'll get out there and just see what everything looks like. See ya.